Good morning, folks. We'll get started here in just a minute. All right. I think we will go ahead and get started here, folks. I'm going to keep it pretty brief. You guys are here for product discussion, and you probably don't want to be marketed to, but I do want to hit very quickly on our value prop here at IMES. My name is Matt Sabal. I'm one of the annuity sales directors here. I have a pretty darn good understanding of the annuity product that's out there in general. So if you ever have specific questions, I'm a good guy to talk to. We're going to talk today about 5-year strategies as MYGA alternatives and just as good strategies in general. But before we do that, let's just very quickly hit on why people like to work with us here at IMES. Many of you that are on the call, I know, have seen this before. Our new producer builders program, I call it our new producer bonus program, is one of the best tools to utilize as a new producer here. During your first 6 months contracted with us, you can hit these different thresholds of production. FIAs count dollar for dollar. Target life counts 10 to 1-ish in general. It's about 10 to 1. MYGAs count as half. But if you hit any of these thresholds, we'll reinvest in your marketing to make sure that a producing agent stays producing in 2024. We want to keep your sales funnel as full as possible. So I've had several people recently hit the $1 million level in their first 6 months contracted with us, and that allows us to do a bunch for them. Seminars, preset appointments, things of that nature. It really doesn't need to be something that's outlined here on this. We just want to make sure you have a constant stream of people coming to you so you can write business during the first quarter, first half of 2024. Just like you, referrals are huge. We'll pay you for that business, $50 when somebody gets contracted, 20 basis points when they write like an FIA, for example, a $100,000 FIA that somebody you sent to us. When they write that, we're going to give you $200, and that's indefinite. That's not for the first year that they're writing or something like that. So, I've got a couple of guys who just all they do is refer people to us, and they're paid very handsomely for it. So it's kind of different than an agency model and simpler for a lot of folks. We're very, very good at back office. The people of you on the call that are already with us here at IMES, I think know this, but we've got experts assigned to follow your business through no matter who the carrier is. They're an expert with that carrier. So we've got, for example, we've got Natalie, who knows Athene real well. We've got Nikita, who knows Augustar real well, and so on and so forth. So I've been around the industry. We are the best that I've seen at this. Our website, lots of good resources, sales tools, canned material that you can put on your website, your social media pages, things that you can use to drip to clients that you may have in a CRM. We also will help you with that, but also things like Annuity Rate Watch, Firelight, that's all on our website. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but if you aren't utilizing this, get with your annuity or life sales director and make sure you know the resources that you have there, because that is a very useful tool. Speaking of Firelight, if you're not using it, you should be. Most of you have heard this spiel before, but it's going to save you time. It's very easy to learn. It'll probably save you money because a lot of carriers now are incentivizing you to use Firelight, or they're taking away a little bit of money, a little bit of your commission if you don't use Firelight. But it allows us to help you better too, because we can scrub the apps more easily, and so can the carriers. You get paid quicker. You have fewer mistakes. Use Firelight if you aren't. Also great in the digital marketplace because it allows people to easily sign remotely, and that is becoming more and more important. Another thing we do really well, creative marketing solutions. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this like I normally do. We're going to make this a pretty quick webinar, but we'll do everything from stationary all the way and including up to getting you, setting up your seminars, getting you on the radio, TV. Wherever you are in your practice, we want to meet you where you're at. Make sure you're credible. So when people look you up, they don't have any questions about you, and we can sit down and do a comprehensive marketing analysis for you. Most of the people that I bring into IMES, that's a primary topic that they are concerned with, is getting marketing right. So let us spend some time with you and really nail it for you so you have a plan in place for 2024 and beyond. We'll help you pay for a lot of that too if you're writing business with us. IMES Wealth Management, we're following what the DOL is doing very closely, and we've been doing that for a long time now. IMES Wealth Management really started back in 2016, 2018. Because of changes that were happening in the DOL, people were concerned they would need their securities license. We have an excellent, flexible platform for those people who are AUM, but also if you are interested in earning your 65, they're a resource to you there as well. And if you just want to flip clients to our IMES Wealth Management team so you can keep them close and not have to visit with another advisor, if you've got somebody who wants to leave money in a growth bucket, we'll do that for you too. And then we'll flip them back to you when you get your license so you can earn the commissions on them. A really good team over there. Let me know if you would like more information on that. In fact, and guys, please vote on these. We're going to have a couple of quick polls. If you would like more information on IMES Wealth Management, I'll have Duncan reach out to you. That team over there, again, they'll help you go on a call if you just need a securities professional on your call and you don't want your clients visiting with another advisor. That way it keeps them close to you. And then if you want the resources that IMES Wealth Management offers as far as earning your securities license or any of the other resources they have on the AUM platform, then let me know. I'll get Duncan to have a call with you. Thank you for voting there, guys. I'm almost done with this initial part of it. The third thing I think we do really, really well here, and again, I've seen what the industry has to offer is training. The tip of the spear as far as our training is life and annuity high-level training at our academies. We will be doing these April and May this year. We'll do them a few times this year, but this is not 101 type life and annuity training. It is high-level, master's level type stuff from other top advisors, best practices, sales concepts, marketing strategies from the people who are at the very top of the industry. They're going to show you exactly how they do it. You'll get some good ideas to implement in your practice, and the people who I've seen come out to these events undoubtedly come back with good ideas to implement in their practice, and almost always I see an increase in sales from those folks. So all-inclusive will pay to get you out to these. Because of that, there is a little bit of a qualification there. But get with your annuity sales director like me, Matt Sabala, or maybe your life sales director, and we can discuss how we can get you out to that in April or May will be when we do the first one. So if you would like to participate in our first Life and Annuity Academy coming up this spring, then please let us know. It will almost certainly be at our corporate office for the first one, but we do them throughout the country when we partner with carriers. So please vote real quick. And if you would like to get out there, we will make sure we do that for you. All right. We're big on incentive trips. We're just wrapping up qualification for one where we're getting people out to what we call the Summit by the Sea. A different one. The Summit by the Sea is the one we're doing in October. Man, I'm just all over the place. We're doing it at the end of August. It takes $3 million to qualify. There has to be a business that's being put with Athene. But as you see, it'll be at the end of August, and we'd love to see you guys out there. These trips may be drying up from carriers here before too long. So that's one of the changes the DOL is looking at making, is really de-incentivizing agents with trips like this. So get in while you can. Great time out there. Good opportunity to bump shoulders with people who are also at the top of the industry. Finally, it's really important to have that online presence, like I was discussing earlier. Like us and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn, and let's make sure we can do the same for you. So if you'd like that capability in your practice of having your agents be able to stay close to you, keep up with what you're doing by following you on social media, let us know. We can set that up for you so it's automated and very personal at the same time. So your agents can engage with you and refer people more easily to you. Also great for adding credibility there. Okay, so you guys didn't come here for, let's see here. You didn't come here to talk marketing, I don't think. Most of you didn't. We are happy to have a more detailed conversation about marketing with you. But let's talk about 5-year strategies. So as you guys probably saw in the email that I put out, 5-year strategies are really becoming more and more popular in the FIA space for a number of reasons. One, because the product is just really strong right now. Two, because MYGA rates are falling, as you see interest rates falling, and that's only going to continue this year, guys. So I really see this as, I'm going to say it's going to be like the year of the short-term FIA. The different carriers are really positioning product to be strong in this area. So what I would like to do is go over a few more than a handful of different products with carriers that we work with, and we've got pretty much everybody, guys, so I can guarantee you that we will have solutions at the very top of what you may be looking for, whether that be with regard to rates, some sort of rate lock, a performance trigger, or even a bonus on a 5-year product. So we'll discuss kind of all three of those areas here. Let's start with a very simple S&P strategy. Actually, so when you look at 5-year products, oftentimes you're going to get a client who wants to keep it simple. They like the S&P 500. IBEXIS, which is a company we work with, newer to the space, but a very good company, excellent service. They are one of, if not the favorite of my carriers to do business with, because they're just really, really responsive and very just easy to get business processed with. Also great internal contacts over there. They've got a product called the FIA Plus, and if you're not familiar with this can be used in a complicated fashion, but I want to keep it very simple. So it gives you the best cap on a 5-year strategy for the annual point-to-point on the S&P 500 right now, 11.5%. Best you'll find in the industry on a 5-year product. Now, it is rate banded, so you've got 100,000 and up is going to get you that rate. 25,000 and up will get you 10.5. This has a really cool feature to it. If any of you guys write RILAs, it's very similar to a RILA. But basically, if you go into any indexing strategy that is offered here, and they've really got some good par rates on volatility-controlled indices as well here, any gain you get can be locked in to where the next year you actually have a floor and you have an opportunity for an even higher gain the next year. The downside is if you lose money the following year, you can go back to whatever the current cap or rate is on the product. But it gives you the ability to really step up, and if you manage your client's portfolio on an annual basis, this is one of the strongest products in the industry. It's not real well understood, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it right now, but if you'd like more information, let me know. I wanted to point out it has the most competitive rates on the S&P right now. So keep that in mind. And if you guys have questions, we will address those at the end of our presentation here. So that's IBEXIS. AIG. So you'll see up in the top left here, we've got the company and the product. AIG has a product I really like too. So not only do they have a pretty competitive rate on the S&P 500, actually very, very good there, but they also have a performance trigger. So the way that works is if the S&P is up or flat in any year, the client is going to get 8% in this strategy. or if they're on the lower band, under 100,000, they get 7%. But I see a lot of people going into a blended strategy where you have an 11% cap and an opportunity for performance trigger if there's a small gain, which a lot of people, are a little uncertain about this year. Performance trigger may be a good strategy. If it's down, client gets nothing. And you can buy up higher rates with this contract, so that's an option too on some of the other strategies. But I like the simple story of the S&P cap and the performance trigger. One other thing I want to point out is, and IBEXIS it was actually a little bit lower on the fixed account. Let's go back to that real quick. Fixed accounts for these 5-year products are usually pretty strong too, and most of you probably already know carriers are unlikely to move the fixed account much. The way they price these products, they can keep that pretty steady. There are a number of carriers here, and I'll point out a couple that have never, ever moved a rate on the fixed account. So like in the case of IBEXIS, they're about the lowest on the fixed account, and that kind of is what allows them to price in higher caps. But 4.3% on the low band, 4.5%, a little higher here with AIG, and I like that performance trigger. So keep in mind, you can always use a blended strategy with the fixed account. Let's talk about Aspida next. Here's Aspida, Synergy Choice Max 5. Aspida doesn't have quite as good a cap on the S&P, pretty close, 10.5, 9.5 on the lower rate. But they offer some really good indexing allocations if you're looking for a par strategy. And Aspida, if you guys have done business with them, they are kind of like IBEXIS in that I really, really like working with them. They've got excellent service. But the thing they're known for is they will get issued or business issued same day. If you send cash with app and do it electronically, and you're doing like an ETF or a wire, they'll pay you the same day you write the app if it's in good order in a lot of cases. If not, then it'll be like the next day or the day after at the very latest. But very, very quick at getting business issued. Good group, and we've done a lot of business with them. They've got some really good 7-10-year products now too. Also a phenomenal income product that some of you may not know about. So up and comer in the industry for sure with Aspida. All right, let's talk about products that have flexible premium now. Delaware Life, Retirement Stages Select 5, 10% cap on the lower band, 11% cap on the S&P higher band. It's also got performance triggers, very similar to AIG, actually a little bit higher. Same story. If the S&P is up or flat, your client's going to get the declared rate on those performance triggers. Good fixed rate on this one. A couple of things I really like about this product. Flexible premium, so you can add premium to this contract over the life of the contract. It also has a minimum fixed rate of 3%. So the contract is guaranteed if you allocate into the fixed rate to never go below 3%. And like I said, most carriers aren't going to move that fixed rate too much, so that shouldn't come into play. But if you've got a client who's been burned because they're in an older contract and par rates and caps have just dropped because they purchased in a lower interest rate environment, and then we had all that volatility and a couple of years ago that really impacted those rates and par rates, this is a good story. You have the ability to earn, you've got the performance trigger, you've got the current fixed rate, and oh, by the way, you're never going to be in a situation like you were because the minimum fixed rate on this is 3%. In reality, we shouldn't see that come into effect, but it's a nice story and a good guarantee. Flexible premium with Delaware Life. Equitrust, also flexible premium. So not quite as high of an annual point-to-point cap, but they do have a monthly averaging strategy that allows you to earn up to 12%. Really like that with Equitrust. Also, very high fixed rate with Equitrust. So another contract that offers flexible premium. And guys, Equitrust, this is pretty cool. I'm going to back out of this here. If you are interested, Equitrust right here, 5% commission on the 5-year product, which is already one of the most competitive in the industry. But until the end of February, they were offering an additional 1% on any commission. So up to age 75, you're going to get 6% on this product. So good solution for your clients, good solution for you, and flexible premium. So something they can add to the contract over the life of the contract again. Also, some good volatility controlled strategies with Equitrust. And finally, on one that I just kind of want to point out some good rates, and then we'll talk about some that have a good rate lock, is Lincoln. Lincoln is flexible premium, just like Equitrust, just like Delaware Life. Got a really, really strong cap with participation point or participation rate on the S&P. Pretty good, just standard annual point-to-point cap. And then what I like about it is it has, what am I looking for here? It has the minimum 3% fixed account and a pretty decent current fixed account on this one too. So Delaware Life is just one more opportunity there. I do like that it has a par rate on the S&P annual point-to-point. So I'm sorry, this is Augustar. I skipped one. We're talking about Augustar here. I knew something didn't make sense. So Augustar has the par rate. They have the same 3% minimum, and they do not. I was looking for a performance trigger where I'm going to have to find this Lincoln product, but Augustar has been a good group to work with because that minimum in the fixed account at 3% is attractive to some people as well. And like I said, a good annual point-to-point, a good option for participation as well with Augustar. They're a new group. Some of you may not be familiar with them. A-rated across the board. They also were, if you're familiar with Ohio National, they are formerly Ohio National that a lot of people use for a direct contract. They went the IMO channel, demutualized, still very, very strong company. But now they are known as Augustar in the IMO channel for both annuities and life insurance. We're one of the few groups that has them. Really good 5, 7, and 10-year products. They've got the best 10-year product with a no fee bonus at 14%. Okay. Let's see. Here's the Lincoln that I wanted to talk about. I just got them out of order. Sorry about that, guys. So Lincoln is another flexible premium product. What I like about Lincoln is this performance trigger. 8.75%. Really, really nice there. The S&P is up or flat. Your client will get that. On the low band at 7.75%. Good point-to-point cap with Lincoln. And then one more that I want to point out is Mass Mutual Ascend. So many producers that I talk to aren't familiar with Mass Mutual Ascend, but they're awesome. They've got really good 5 and 7-year products. We're talking about the 5 here, but the same holds true for their 7-year. It has a guaranteed rate lock on the S&P. So as you know, during the life of a contract, you will likely see caps and rates drop if we see some volatility. Not with Mass Mutual. So they've got a current cap on the S&P of 8.5%. On the low band, 8.75, and that is guaranteed for the life of the contract. So you're looking, if you've got a client who's looking for a simple story, they don't want anything but the S&P 500, this is a fantastic option because they'll be able to earn at least that much every year. They also guarantee that minimum of 3% on the fixed account. So this is a contract built for guarantees, at least guarantees for opportunities. But another good group to work with, A-rated. Their 7-year product is basically the same story with higher caps. So good options there from Mass Mutual. And I'm not going to spend too much more time, guys. One more thing I want to point out, please let me know if you have any questions, is something we have coming in the second quarter. or late first quarter at the very earliest, but most likely second quarter. SILAC is releasing a 5-year product that I think will be different than anything we have in the industry, and will give you a good opportunity to get a client maybe out of a contract, but keep them in a shorter term solution. So SILAC is one of those groups that has never ever moved rates on the fixed account, so just something to keep in mind. But they're going to give you a 5% premium bonus for no fee on their 5-year product. And then they will have a decent cap on the S&P 500. You know, it's not designed to be a killer option with that bonus. You can also, with Elevation Plus with a fee, buy the bonus up even a little bit higher. I don't really see a lot of people finding a need for that in a 5-year product, but it may be an opportunity here and there. And then we could see rates change a little bit on this. They will have a non-bonus version of this available also that honestly doesn't look particularly competitive, but the 5% bonus is something unique in the industry. So with that, I don't really have any other products that I wanted to discuss that either had something unique about them or a super competitive rate. But these are excellent products. Oh, I'm sorry, there is one more. I am so sorry, guys. These are competitive products that are exclusively in the FIA space. But let me point out one more to you that I really, really like that is kind of a blended product. So close this. All right. Not available in every state yet, guys, but this product with American Life is something we have done a lot of business with, and I think is a really, really good story for the right client. So first of all, this is a blended product. It's technically filed as an FIA, but even in the large broker dealers that typically can't write FIAs, we are seeing this being approved. It offers a floor of 4.6%. That is the minimum guarantee, 4.6% return. But it offers the ability to earn, see that 14% right there? I'll explain it to you. It's a little hard to see just when you're looking at rates. So operates like a MYGA, 4.6%. But if the S&P over the length of the contract, so 5-year contract, if the S&P is up 25% or more cumulatively, then your client gets a bonus that all it does is if you look back at it, it's a retroactive bonus. It'll get your clients to 7.68% annualized return, compounding interest. So it's a floor of 4.6. If the S&P is up over 5 years, 25% or more, your client gets 7.68%. And if you look at a 40-year look back, the S&P has been up historically at any point 25% or more at least 76% of the time. So your client, if you use that as a metric, has a 3 out of 4 chance of getting 7.68% and is guaranteed to get at least 4.6%. So really, really good story with that, especially with rates dropping. That is a good opportunity. It's also got a competitive commission on that compared to most 5-year MYGAs. So just keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions about that, let me know. But that is called the American Life Fusion product. And if you communicate with any sales directors here at IAMS, that is at the bottom of our email. You can actually click to get some marketing information on that. We've had so much success with that. We're talking about that one a little bit more than some of the others. So that is all I have for you folks. If you have any questions, now's the time to let me know. And if we don't, we'll hop off here. All right, folks, no questions. Appreciate your time today. Look forward to working with you. Please, again, if you've got any questions, get a hold of me, Matt Sabala, and I will give you a hand with whatever you need. Thank you. Take care.